Hello again, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Good to Know Shreveport Bossier. This is a podcast. We showcase all the good things happening around our community. My name is Jeff Binefor. I'm your host. This is a guy we have to have. His name is Paul Reeser. He's my co-host. He used to own a whole bunch of Sonics, so he's really a rich dude. He's a member of the Committee of 100. So every podcast, we focus on topics and initiatives that do have positive impacts around town. We have new episodes available every other Wednesday, and you can find Good to Know wherever you listen to your podcast. We got a fun show today, so Paul, take it away.
Well, thank you, Jeff. You actually were nice to me today. I appreciate it.
Well, I'm not feeling that good.
So this is one of my favorite kind of guests on today. Very inspirational to me because this is an example of a guy who saw a need and wanted to do something about it, and just through creativity and initiative and hard work just went out and created this organization that has raised a ton of money. So it's really exciting. I love this kind of story.
Okay, are we going to actually get to the names?
Oh, yeah, we'll get to it.
Okay.
So we have Corey Kraft?
Kraft, yes.
Kraft, that's a cool, Kraft. So Corey Kraft, he is the executive director of, you're going to love this, Jeff, the Turkey Fry Guys. And Mark Harrison, one of the guys.
I'm trying to refrain, but go ahead.
No, really, this is an inspirational and cool story, and you guys are fun. So I really want to hear one. Now, explain to everybody, and Jeff especially, what is the Turkey Fry Guy?
Well, Turkey Fry Guys is a 501c3 that we started to help a couple things. One, bring a large group of people together in our community, have a good time frying turkeys, and also bring a lot of awareness to an organization that's in need in our community. And so after years of thinking and trying to put it together, I had a focus group at my house, like, hey, I want to finally do this. We're coming out of COVID. I think people really want to be interested in probably getting back out and doing some fun things. And
Well, wait, what's the organization that you say is in need that you're trying
we're
to
doing
help?
it for a gingerbread house.
Gingerbread house, okay.
Whenever I was kind of floating this idea of frying a large amount of turkeys in the community to raise awareness and a bunch of money for an organization in need, gingerbread house kept coming up in topic of conversation. So kind of kept playing with it, and then all of a sudden my wife gets called to do grand jury for 6 months. So during the time of her grand jury, she had heard a couple cases through the grand jury, cases that come out of the gingerbread house. Okay. And and a couple of them were pretty severe, and she actually had to go seek some counseling to get over some of those. And so it was just, she came to me and said that, I think the gingerbread house is what we need to do, focus on the turkey fry.
Explain what the gingerbread house does.
Gingerbread House is a children's advocacy center here in our community. They actually cover 9 parishes in North Louisiana. I mean, they're one if not the biggest in Louisiana. Abuse on kids, sexual abuse, trafficking. So they.
This is all inspired by your wife's appearance on the grand jury, or you were thinking about it before?
We were thinking about it prior, but I think what sealed the deal to move towards the gingerbread house, to bring more awareness to them, was the experience she had. Okay. And I knew of the gingerbread house, but I really didn't know what all they did on their everyday need. And once we met with Jessica, the CEO of the gingerbread house, got a really behind the scenes look of what they do, the involvement they are in the community with the kids that they see. It seemed like a no-brainer to help provide resources for the kids that they see.
So Mark, how'd you get involved?
I got involved because that one meeting he had at his house, he said, just come to this deal. It's for the gingerbread house. And at the time I knew absolutely nothing about the gingerbread house. When Jessica from the gingerbread house got up and spoke, and then Sheriff Prater spoke, and then they start giving all these numbers just in North Louisiana of all the kids that are not getting help. It's phenomenal. And so I'm sitting there listening to all that, and I went, I'm on board. I'll do anything I can to help.
Nice. Hey, do me a I'm interrupt for a second. Hey, Logan, would you cut your mics off upstairs, please? Appreciate it. Thank you. All right.
They'll cut that part out.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Well, the really neat thing to me is that you guys aren't You don't have a background in the gingerbread house. You're not social workers by trade. You're guys with businesses. You're in the business community. So tell us a little bit about what you do. And then I want to talk about, you've done this one time and it was a huge success. So how did a couple of guys just like, turkeys? That's it. That's the answer.
And yet you're still alive. You haven't been fried.
They think that, especially when they look at Jeff and I. Yeah, turkeys comes to mind. But so, Corey, what do you do for a living besides fry hundreds of turkeys?
Well, my day job is working at Home Federal Bank. I'm branch manager off of Mansfield Road location. So, I've been in banking for about roughly 15 years. 5 of it's been with Home Federal. So that's what I do in my daytime and my day job, and then at night is full time with turkeys.
Turkey time. How about you, Mark?
I own House of Carpets and Lighting here.
Oh, nice.
It's been around here since 1958, so it's been around a long time. So I do that, and then the frying came to be because we were trying to figure out how to do these fryers and how to pump them out in a timely manner. So we called Robert Myers over in Homer, who builds all these turkey fryers, ships all over the world. And anyway, he made these fryers for us to make it happen.
You fry turkey, then what? What do you do with them?
So the concept and goal I had going into this was to create a big production on fried turkeys. One, so people can drive by an event and see something like, oh my God, what in the world's going on out there?
So
We're frying turkeys.
I'm sorry, I didn't interrupt. Do you do it at like fairs, or you just have your own events?
We have one event each year, and it's the first one we had was last year. So it's the weekend before Thanksgiving.
Okay.
We had a party the night before we called it Gobble Wobble, which
I like that.
people bought tickets and came to the event. We had a really nice silent auction set up with a band, and in the silent auction, a lot of our local sports athletes, musicians, you name any sports guy in this area, and they found out what we're doing, and they personally contributed to the silent auction, which we raised a lot of money with that. You can go from Brandon Wilson, Dak Prescott, Devin White, Kix Brooks, them kicked in some stuff.
So this has gotten big in a hurry. It's very interesting. So you've done it one time, and you said for years you thought about it. I wanted to do something. How did you come up with the turkey idea, and then how did you go from let's fry some turkeys to Dak Prescott is giving us his jersey to auction off?
It went from, I'll start way back when my brother started doing this out of his garage with some friends, having some adult beverages during 2 nights before Thanksgiving out of his garage, and they went from doing, as a fun hobby, doing 25 turkeys to 200 one time. And then, as he got busy in life helped running the Piggly Wiggly Corporation, just couldn't do it no more.
Your brother was frying turkeys.
Yeah.
My brother can do it. So what was he doing with 25 to 200 turkeys?
People were just bringing them to the house. They'll just tell, and they'll do them, and they'll drop off some cash, and they'll just take the cash, the local St. Jude's or whatnot, the next Monday, just give the cash away. So I got the idea from him, and I wanted to do it, and I just was mulling over it for years and years and years. And I like the Thanksgiving side of it because Thanksgiving has always been very important to me and my family. Love that time of year, the giving part. And so I want to do it where people can be involved. People like to give away turkeys at Thanksgiving. So the concept and idea was have people, maybe sponsor some birds, buy some birds for people, organizations that are in need. And like, no point intended, you like jokes. You kind
I work with one, so yes.
You kind of, with what we do, you kind of kill 2 birds with 1 stone, right?
Yeah.
You can sponsor a bird. It could go to someone in need, or you could take it for yourself, or you can donate or designate an organization for it to go to. The bird goes to somebody in need. The monetary side helps Gingerbread House. So that's the neat thing about this.
Yeah.
And also bringing a community together for one event to sit out there and watch a heck of a production of frying. Last year, 500,000 birds this year.
Wow.
1,000
So
birds.
people just like you to watch you fry the birds, huh?
It's like a tailgating event.
Okay.
We love tailgating in the South, right? And so, like football games, you come up there, tailgate, help us out for an hour, 2 hours.
So kind of explain the weekend. I'm sorry. But you got like
I'll
a
agree
2-day.
with that, but go ahead.
So it's a 2-day event, right?
It
It's not
is.
just we're going to fry turkeys, come pick them up. It's an event. And then you can tell us at the end of this how much you actually raised last year and what's the plan for this year.
So it is a 2-day event. Friday night we have a party. We call it the Gobble Wobble.
Yeah.
Have a little fun with the name. This year is at House of Carpets and Lighting, where we actually do the frying at.
Nice.
You know, what kind of concept we kind of want to see this year is have for people to see is the actual fryers out there. Last year we had it at another location, and so this year we're kind of bringing it all into one, so people can see everything. That we'll have another very, very pumped up silent auction this year from some special people and some items from local businesses in town. Have a nice band. The state of Louisiana has donated the seafood to the event. They love what we were doing.
Oh, you do seafood too?
Yeah.
Wow, okay.
So for the party that night.
You get non-guesser involved in that?
Yes, the
Okay.
Louisiana seafood people
All right.
foundation that kicked in that. And then Saturday, wake up that morning, and it's fry time. You know, we'll be going.
Yeah.
Going about 8 o'clock that morning till about 5 that night.
Nice.
People come and go. You see a line of cars just pulling through and picking up turkeys.
Sweet. So, Mark, you donated your store, I guess, huh?
Yes,
We shut them down.
Yeah, I'll shut down on that Saturday, and we just allowed all this to take place. It's easy to drive through and do everything. And then what I did was I bought all the fryers for the deal. We bought 6 fryers last year. We're adding 4 more to it, so we'll have 10 fryers that can fry 18 turkeys at a time.
Wow.
So we'll do 180 turkeys every hour.
That's a big fryer. I've got
Wow.
some fryer experience. 10 birds in each fryer.
18 birds in each fryer.
18
Come on.
per fry.
Yeah, and
That's
then we have
crazy.
10 fryers.
Huh?
So if we have 10 fryers,
So 180 an hour.
180 an hour.
Holy cow.
So we'll be pumping it out, and then people just sit there. You know, we'll let them drip
Yeah.
and dry, and then wrap them up in cellophane and foil, and box them, and then boom, everybody take off with a box.
So, and just people just drive through and pick up their bird, or some
Yeah.
party, or
Yeah, we have some people who had designated times to they can come when they come pick them up. The organization say, hey, you know, your birds will be ready at 11 that morning. They'll come and pick them up. People who sponsor birds will say, you know, I got so and so want to come in this time frame. So we kind of have an idea how many birds we'll need to have ready during that time frame. So they just come in. We just put them in their vehicles.
Go ahead, Mark.
To give you an example, like the BRF here in town,
Yeah.
they're going to buy somewhere between 60 and 100 turkeys, and they will designate. They tell everybody, you go pick your turkey up at House of Carpets. So then they'll send there. We got a list of everybody that's supposed to get a bird and how many birds that will go out. So we just check off everybody, and we keep a constant running
Out
total
of
of who's got what.
curiosity, I mean, are there different prices for these birds, or does everybody pay the same price? How does that work?
Everybody pays the same
They have the
price.
same price.
Same price. Can you tell us what
It,
that is?
it's that's what I'm about to get to. It's $70 a bird.
70, okay.
And if you go to our website, turkeyfryguys.com, you can click on over there would sponsor, donate a bird, and it will talk you right through how different packages from a single bird all the way up to 25 bird package.
So if I can I just drive through without a reservation and pick up a bird, or do I got to call in advance, or how's that work?
You're going to need to call
Get
in
online
advance or
or-
get online and
yeah.
buy it in advance because they're going fast. There's not going to be opportunity for a drive up and get one the day of or
That's
something.
kind of
like
snooty, if you know. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, yeah. It's a. I wish we could, but you know,
Yeah,
it's
I get it.
but you know, we gotta get sponsors for all these birds. We
So
still.
when you say sponsors for the birds, they just buy the bird, or they give you a amount of money to say we're a sponsor of the bird, and then buy the bird anyway? Other people buy the bird. How's that all work?
Well, when I say sponsor a bird, you know, go back to BRF. You know, they're going to buy roughly 60 birds.
Okay.
So they're sponsor birds to give to somebody else.
I see.
You know, we have another gentleman. He bought 50 birds.
Wow.
You know,
Yeah.
so he just told us. He said, "I'm sponsoring 50 birds.
Yeah.
I know the money's going to go to the gingerbread house. So I want these birds picked organizations of y'all's choosing who you want them to go to." And another neat story on that last year. This is the same gentleman who I'm talking about. His birds that he bought last year, he said, "I don't know what to do with these birds, but I know y'all. I'll trust y'all to put them in good hands." And
Yeah.
so we got to thinking, and so we took 2 birds to fire stations,
Yeah.
and took the rest over to Barksdale Air Force Base.
Oh,
It
cool.
gave to
Yeah.
and when we called and told him that, I mean, he just said, "I am in as long as y'all want to." He said, "I
That's
never
great.
felt so good about
Yeah.
something during the holiday season
pretty
that
cool.
that you
Yeah.
know, his money went to the gingerbread
Yeah,
house,
absolutely.
and birds went to somebody in need." And
I've never heard of anything like this before. This is pretty cool. You guys feel pretty good about coming up with this concept. It's really creative.
It was phenomenal last year, and you know, with all the stuff that we donate, a lot of people are just saying, "Look, here's 2,000. I want it to go to this church for anybody they need, you know, to give it to." So
For like
a lot of the
Thanksgiving
churches
and
got a
all
lot of turkeys last year from
that.
us.
Yeah.
Wow, that's
So-
a really cool idea.
So there's a big
It's-
party the Friday before the week before Thanksgiving.
That is correct.
That's
The 17th, so November 17th is the auction. The turkey, and we'll be injecting all the turkeys, have them ready to go for Saturday morning, and then Saturday morning, the 18th, is when we'll start frying the turkeys. So from
And that's
about
this year, 2023. If you're listening to this next year, just check the website. What's that website?
TurkeyFryGuys.com.
turkeyfryguys.com. But generally, the plan is the weekend before Thanksgiving, you're going to have a party on Friday and cook those turkeys on Saturday.
that is correct.
That's very creative.
And we-
I like
love
this.
it.
Yeah.
And just from that perspective, I mean, when we say the party, you got Glazers, you got Eagle, you've got a company called Bushwhackers. They're donating a lot of the beer and spirits.
So do people pay to come to the party? You have to buy a ticket to get in the party?
They buy a ticket, yes.
Okay,
So-
and then that party, you got seafood and beer and bottled water and iced tea for Jeff.
For me, yes, I'm Coca-Cola. I drink the hard stuff.
We'll have some beef. We'll have either, you know, some red meat, some turkey, whatever there as
A
well.
little sample, give away a little,
So, yeah.
something. First
Yeah.
one's free.
So-
Oh,
Etouffee,
absolutely.
you know,
Yeah.
something.
So, getting back to the gingerbread house here, how much did you wind up donating to the gingerbread house?
So our first year, we were able to write them a check for $80,000.
Wow.
Our first year.
80,000, 800.
That is
Yes.
pretty amazing.
And so we want to go above 100 this year. The gingerbread house lost some funding this year through the state that they usually get, and no fault of our delegation up here, just something that the governor decided to write out, and so we want to, hopefully we can raise enough to help soften that blow to their budget this year, and keep them funded best we can. And
Well, we got a new governor coming, so
So,
maybe
yes.
that stuff will change.
we've been told that he's gonna make up for it. So,
So the gingerbread house, especially through your wife being on the grand jury, it really touched your heart as a very effective organization for helping these kids. Is it
right.
feel like the money is really well taken care of there?
It is. You know, speaking with Jessica and at Gingerbread House, who runs it, the CEO, and she is so powerful. I mean, she is. So if you ever get a chance to meet her, go hear her speak, I encourage everybody to. And she's on it. She's very passionate about it, and we are so lucky to have her leadership there.
You said,
And-
Mark, you really were touched when she spoke.
When she spoke and Sheriff Prater spoke, you know, and just hearing all the things that they go through, and mainly what the kids go through, you know, and they have forensic interviewers that are able to get the children to relax more than having a uniformed police officer there, and they open up, and so their conviction rates have gone way up,
That's good.
you know, because of what the Gingerbread House does. And Sheriff Prater can tell you in detail how big of an impact it is for them to convict these guys.
Yeah. Did they share with you the details of some of these cases? I mean, without names and all that stuff, but just some of the things that happened to these kids that kind of get to you?
I mean, we hear different stories. You know, I don't know what you can say.
Nah, just don't give me
Yes,
the details.
yes.
I just wondered if that was the case.
Yes. So we've heard enough stories
Yeah.
that, I mean, it would be terrible if it didn't touch everyone's heart
Right.
and
to
it-
what these kids go through.
Right, and another thing about a gingerbread house too, you know, once they get the conviction on these kids, you know, there's continued care afterwards for these kids. They went through so much trauma,
Right.
and to see, you know, it's not over with once, you know, the conviction's over with, you know, the case is closed, it's going on. I mean, they're there with the families continuously after to make sure
Yeah.
that they continue to get the care they need to get over the tragedy and events they've gone through. So I mean, it's just
They'll take care of them up to 18 years old.
Up to 18.
And
What's the youngest? Did they tell you, like, what's the youngest these kids?
the earliest I heard was 3.
3.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And the largest majority of the cases are by someone they know or a family member that all this goes
Yeah.
on. It's awful.
It is awful.
Well, if you think about the trauma that your wife experienced, hearing about it
Yeah.
on jury can begin to, I mean, and she needed counseling and so forth just because it was so traumatic hearing about it, and just can't even imagine living through it for these
Right.
kids, and what a great organization to help them through that. Because it's not just, oh, we put the abuser in jail, now this child needs a lot of care to grow through that.
Yeah, and that's was more, really touching to me is the aftercare about it. Because we all had dreams when we were kids. I was going to be a Major League Baseball player.
Yeah, I'm going to be in the NBA, but that's another.
So exactly. So
I was going to be a hamburger
and to
flipper.
have
Yeah, no, well, imagine that.
You're
only
gonna be a
one year
hammer what?
reached your dream.
and to have the care to still continue to give them this horrible experience they went through, this big hurdle that they had to get through in life, and just to continue on that you can still follow your dreams and be impactful and still have a really good productive and life. So that part of it behind the scenes was very, very touching for me too as well.
Well, before you knew you were going to do turkeys to raise money, before you knew you were going to give the money to Gingerbread House, your early idea of the whole concept was something to help kids.
Always.
Why was that your early thought?
Because they're our next generation. They're our next educators. They're our next spiritual leaders. They're our next people who to run our communities.
You look at it the same way, Mark?
I do. If I was going to do anything for anyone, it would be the children, because they're the ones that have the least opportunity to get the help that they need.
How many folks are in your organization that help you guys do all this?
We have a core group of about Mark, 7, 8 of us. That's kind of year round.
Yeah.
And another thing is the day of the fry, we have businesses here in town who do community give back events, and so they've reached out to us and say, hey, we're going to send some of our staff down. We met about it, so we're going to send a team down to help you guys that day of the fry. Just tell us what to do. If it's packing boxes, if it's passing out, help keep picked up or whatever we need to do.
Okay.
So so there were some businesses who were coming on. They did last year with some churches who sent some deacons to help and with the process during the day of the fry, and so we're seeing more companies reaching out to us this year to send their staff who'd like to get involved in community organized events. So
Is this going to grow? I mean, you said you gave $80,000 the first year. Your goal is $100,000. What's the ceiling on this?
there's no ceiling. I don't think there's a ceiling on raising enough money to fund such an organization like Gingerbread House.
Yeah.
They cover 9 parishes. It's just not in.
How do you get the word out to everybody? Is it just word of mouth?
It's word of mouth. We have a great social media platform, which is turkeyfryguys.com.
Okay.
Who Carrie Rogers, who's our director with that platform, she does a phenomenal job there on all the social media platforms. We have a website, turkeyfryguys.com, and it's you guys who's giving us the platform, Committee of 100. It's really honored for y'all guys to give us a microphone and a camera today to talk about it, because a lot of people out there like me, I knew the name Gingerbread House.
Yeah.
I had no idea
what it did.
what all was involved in what their everyday job was.
Well, you guys are doing. We're just about out of time here, but this is a really cool idea.
It
We
is.
finally found a good one to bring in here.
They're all good, but this is especially good because it's so inspirational. And then I just wanted to ask, how do you get the turkey? When I drive through, if I order a turkey, then what's it going to look like when I get it? You said it's in a box, it's wrapped in foil and in a box. Can I refrigerate that? It's good for 7 days under refrigeration, I happen to know.
And I'd stick it in the freezer if you wanted to, if you were unsure.
There.
Pull it out on Wednesday,
Keep
and
it
you'll
under
have
40,
the directions there, exactly what you need to do.
The
It'll be
directions are with it,
perfect
how to
on
read it and
Thursday.
everything.
Yeah.
So if you do exactly what the directions have, it's going to be like what you cooked it that day. It's phenomenal.
Yeah.
So we still got some birds. We're looking for sponsors for a few more birds. I encourage people, if they want to get involved, to reach out to us. Go to turkeyfryguys.com. Our social media, you can reach out to us that way. There's a phone number to call as well. No help. I mean, we can always use the help.
Yeah.
I mean,
Get a
the
ticket
bigger
for
the
the
better.
Wobble Gobble. That sounds like it's going to be a great
That's a
great
fun
time.
party. That's a fun party. I want you guys to come.
I know a guy that used to run some hamburger restaurants. Maybe he could figure out a way to help y'all.
Yeah.
You may be right.
Yeah, there you
I
go.
think we're having fried turkey for
All right,
Thanksgiving.
that's
at my
going to
house.
wrap it up. Corey Kraft, Mark Harrison. Incredible story. Really innovative, really creative, fun, but going to a good cause
Amazing
from your
cause.
hearts. It's really terrific stuff.
Thank y'all
Thank
for
y'all
having
for
us.
doing this.
Thank you
Thank
to
you,
Committee
guys.
100
Appreciate it.
again and you guys.
All right. It's our pleasure, believe me.
Thank
All
you.
right. That's going to do it for us. We appreciate you being here. And you can find Good to Know wherever you listen to your major podcasts. Have a good one, everybody.